What's up, it's Jim from Ready Check Pull. We got to test the Tarragrue, the first boss in the new raid Sanctum of Domination coming out in 9.1. Our full guide will be out later on, but for now, here's a little preview. What makes this interesting is that we actually get to use a few anima powers in the fight. Some of them are super strong, some are strange, and some are just flat out wacky, but all of them make this fight super unique. So let's talk a little bit more about the anima powers. They come from 4 big trash mobs that we kill on our way to the boss, and everybody in the raid gets to choose between 12 powers that are straight out of Torghast. They're all a bit on the generic side, so none of them actually directly interact with your spec, but you see things like increased secondary stats, damage procs, increased damage percentages, and all kinds of utility powers. There's even a few that can be used to troll the raid a little bit by knocking players around or stealing their damage for yourself. None of them are actually required to kill the boss though, so they're mostly just for fun. Now there's really only one mechanic in the fight that's a bit tricky to deal with called Chains of Eternity. It targets a random player and launches a chain toward them after a few seconds. The chain hits the first player in its path, stuns them, and then one-shots that player, period. Kinda crazy, and the only way to prevent a player from dying from it is by immuning the stun effect from the chain. You can do this with immunities like Ice Block, Turtle, and Bubble, but depending on your raid comp, you might not have quite enough of those. So it's gonna help a lot if 1 or 2 of the people in your raid pick up the anima power that makes you immune to the stun effect. These people can just soak the chain every time, making it super easy. The regular mechanics of the fight are pretty simple. There's a pretty standard taunt swap, there's an AoE fear debuff that pulses on several players, which you just spread out for and dispel. There's an enrage on the boss that needs to be removed, either through soothe abilities or from one of the anima power options. Every once in a while there's a safe zone dance you have to do where everyone just has to quickly run to the safe spot a few times. And on heroic there's these debuff pools that spawn that need to be soaked quickly. There's 3 different kinds of pools and they all have to be soaked because they either increase everyone's physical damage taken, increase magic damage taken, or put a big dot on the entire raid. Soaking these pools transfers some of the effects from the raid to the people soaking, so it'll probably help to spread the debuff stacks between different players to be safe. Then at 10% of the fight, the Tarragrue goes into this crazy berserk phase where everyone loses all of their anima powers and the boss stops doing mechanics and just runs around one-shotting everyone. It's actually kinda scary to experience for the first time. And that's pretty much it. Check out the Patreon to get early access to the raid guides before they come out, and join our Discord to keep up with everything Ready Check Pull. Peace.